Then I've got to ask you about what it's like being there at that stadium to watch Virat Kohli do his Virat Kohli things. You know what I mean? In the way he is egging the crowd on to cheer, or he's caught dancing to what the DJ is playing, to when he comes in to bowl, and then when he gets a wicket, the celebration with his wife Anushka Sharma in the stands celebrating in that same way that Virat Kohli does, in that aggressive manner. What is it like for the fans and for someone like you, a journalist watching it from the press box, to see this Virat Kohli phenomenon?
We call him King Kohli. I'll take both your questions. Obviously, I'll talk about the bowling as well, but let's just talk about the Virat Kohli phenomenon first. We call him King Kohli, but what is a king unless you know what his domain is, right? I mean, he's King Kohli because he scores those runs and everything. But a king needs to have a domain. Like I said yesterday in the show, this is a ground which is his adoptive home ground. He's played all his format of cricket in Delhi, but he doesn't play a lot in Delhi now unless RCB is playing in Delhi or there's an India game in Delhi. So this is his home ground for all purposes, where he plays a lot of his cricket in the year whenever he does play in India. So, a few moments, I'll recount those few moments. First of all, when he walked out to bat, Shubman Gill got out. A second later, people realized, okay, now it's Virat Kohli's time. They didn't really care that Shubman Gill got out. He walked in, and it's just so noisy. But there's a different feeling to that noise because this is somebody, one of their own, who's walking out. It's not just Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli walks out to bat to cheers everywhere, but this is Chinnaswamy. So there's something different. I can't really put a finger. There's something different to that noise. Then he bats and he's scoring and he's hitting those boundaries. All is fine. The bowling, Kohli ko bowling though, that's the new chant. He comes on and he bowls, and he takes a wicket of that wide ball. It should have been a wide ball, but he takes a wicket, and again all hell breaks loose. Chinnaswamy goes mad, and he's clearly enjoying the moment. He's interacting with his wife, who's sitting in the stands, and she's also applauding, and they are having a moment. He took his wicket in the second over, but in the first over, he came close, and after the over, he was gesticulating to her, ki, tali to baja de, kam se kam, ek clapping to kar de, because she was shown on the big screen and she was just watching. So he was like, clap for me, clap for me. And there was this moment when he was on the boundary and they were all shouting RCB, RCB, which is obviously the connect he had. What I'm trying to say is, you want to understand the true meaning of the word King Kohli, you need to go watch him play at the Chinnaswamy, because if he's a king, that's his kingdom, that's his domain. And that's the feeling I got yesterday. It was surreal. And I do plan to come back next year in the IPL. I don't know how many IPLs he's going to play, but at least I'm trying to come back next year and watch an IPL game, RCB playing at Chinnaswamy. I don't care which team they're playing, because it's going to be all about Virat Kohli. He rules Chinnaswamy. He owns Chinnaswamy. They should give him the lock and key to Chinnaswamy. That's his kingdom. Now let's come to the bowling bit. Jamie's right that they didn't really need to use so many bowlers. You don't need Rohit Sharma, you don't need Suryakumar Yadav, you don't need Shubman Gill to bowl really. Out of the four bowlers, the only one who's actually a decent bowling option is Virat Kohli. With his dibbly-dobbly medium pace in swinging deliveries. The problem with that is how reliable is it? Because it's not been tried and tested. I was there in 2014 in New Zealand when he took his last wicket. He got Brendan McCullum out. I think that was Hamilton. I'm not sure whether it was Hamilton or Auckland, but I think it was Hamilton. In 2014 January, I was there in New Zealand when I saw him take a wicket. And now 9.5 years later, again in Bengaluru, he took a wicket. So it's not like he's a very consistent bowler, and that was a thought in my mind as well, that this guy is playing with a slip disc. He's playing with a slip disc. And there was this one moment when they played a straight drive down the ground and he put his foot out, just like Hardik Pandya. And then he pulled his foot in at the last moment. And I was like, what are you doing? You're bowling, but you don't have to risk your body. You don't have to put your body on the line. in a complete manner. So yesterday, it was a plan to try out these combinations. Shami, Bumrah did not bowl at full swings, did not bowl at full tilt. They were bowling wide outside the off stump. They were bowling wide Yorkers, wide fuller deliveries. They were trying something different. They were not aiming at the stumps. They were not doing that. It was a proper ploy to bring in these extra bowlers, to give them a bowl and see how many bowlers can be bowled, who can prove to be more effective. Virat Kohli is the only viable option. How viable? It's anybody's guess. But if you have to rely on Rohit and Sky and Shubman Gill, the match is gone. The game is gone. So Virat Kohli is the only viable option you have. Not more than 3 overs. And even then, it would be a bad day for at least 2 bowlers that you're calling Virat Kohli to bowl at the Wankhede or in Ahmedabad.